Well, good morning, everybody. I am now off work, and we are off tonight. Headed to the van now. Didn't really want to spend money, but unfortunately, I need laundry. I am out of clean drawers. Too much information, I know. So, I'm also out of laundry tabs, so I had to pick those up today, which I mean, you know, it's daily necessity. I just didn't want to spend too much more money. I got a couple things for a project I'm going to maybe work on if I can find everything I need. More about that if I find everything I need. So we're headed over to laundromat. It's in the wash, so now we wait. Laundry is all done. Time to toss it into the van. All right, now we get to use our new thing we bought a few days ago. Put my laundry up. We'll start with my shirts drawer first. Okay, so all my shirts just barely fit. Oops. That's not bad. It won't stay that full once I start wearing some clothes. Hey, Grable. And this is my shorts and pants drawer. All right, even with my work slacks and my Walmart smock, everything seems to fit. Fix this here. All right, socks and underwear all fit. Now I do have this stuff here, but that goes in my gym bag. But I still need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the extra towels, washcloth, and microfiber cloths that I have. Any ideas, Waddles? Okay. Stuff for clean and back in my gym bag. Whew. All right, the next spot I want to go to actually doesn't open for another hour, and I probably won't go that early anyway. I am pretty tired, so I think we're gonna go post up. Cats want their dry cat food. I gave them their wet cat food at break last night, but I didn't give them any dry cat food. I told them to wait till I came in the van, so they've been pestering me. So let's pull out. You guys know that I go to Winn-Dixie a lot to post up, and that's because I really like Winn-Dixie, and there's some really good items here and just good people. Like, they're really nice people here. And then you see that water machine right there. I can just take any gallon jug if I want and fill it up. But it's just been announced that my beloved Winn-Dixie is going away. I don't know how much you guys know, but Winn-Dixie was purchased by Aldi, I think earlier this year. And they turned some of the Winn-Dixies into Aldis, and some they were keeping Winn-Dixies. I knew that wasn't going to last. Now what I heard, and this is not all, this may not be 100% true because I've read these articles here and there over time, but the original owners that sold Winn-Dixie to Aldi had an option to, basically the Winn-Dixies Aldi didn't want to turn into Aldis or keep. They were offering them back to the people they purchased them from. And if I understand correctly, the holding company is keeping those Winn-Dixies. Well, their idea is to revamp, and they're going to focus on Winn-Dixies in Florida. I think they're based in Florida, so Winn-Dixie will be a Florida-based grocery store. Unfortunately, that means all the locations here in Alabama. This location here and the one over near that library that I go to a lot, they're going away. There are some that turned into Aldis, and Aldi's fine and stuff. The thing about Winn-Dixie is they had really good butchers. So you could go in there and it's really good cut of meat. Even now that when I work at Walmart, this Winn-Dixie, and they have really good prices. This is where I get my beef from, like steaks and roasts and things like that. This is really the only place I like getting meat. The steak that I got from them was affordable, just as affordable as getting something from Walmart, but the cut was so much better and so much more tender. You got a really good cut of steak, and I'm really sad I'm gonna miss it. I don't know what that means for posting up here. It seems like every place that closes up around here, if it doesn't open up, they fence it around here, because there was a thrift store that went out of business that I thought I was gonna be able to boondock at, and they put a big old chain link fence around it. So I'm a little sad because I really do like this location, and I get some good discounts with my discount membership too. But we've had some good times here already, guys. So I mean, you know, at least I got to expose you to my Winn-Dixie. That's where I got a lot of fried chicken. Not the greatest fried chicken, to be honest with you, but good prices. Well, you know, the next day they sell it for $8 for, you know, like an 8-piece chicken meal. So all right, so I'm going to crawl to the back, straighten up a little bit, give the cats their dry cat food, and I'll probably nap. This is about the time I fall asleep and nap. We got our laundry done, and hopefully the next place we go to has what I'm looking for, and hopefully if I get it, it works for what I need. Catch up with you in a bit. Well, I'm not sure what's going on over here, but I'm in the parking lot of the Walmart that I usually work at. I'm getting ready to go inside Five Below. But we've got 2 police cars and at least 3 officers, and they're all standing around and they're on their phones. I don't know. Not my business, but I thought I'd show it to you guys. Going into Five Below. Don't know what's going on, but the police are still over there. But I got my $5 sunshade. Toss this in the van, then I'm going to go inside this other store here, just because I haven't been in it for a while. I forgot how much pet stuff they have inside of Five Below. There's quite a few things that I might eventually get for the cats in there. Well, I spent too much in Dollar General, that's for sure. Yeah, I spent way too much in Dollar General for what I got. Well, I absolutely got to stop spending until next payday, and I got to watch how much I spend on next payday. All right, here's what I got. Bag of chips. Gonna try these on a 12-volt warmer. These are pre-cooked ballpark hamburger patties. I gotta see how much they cost. I think it was $6 and something for 6 patties. So roughly a little over $1 for a patty, which, I mean, if it works, that means I get a warm meal for under $2. This is the only scissors they had. I'm a little upset about that. I can use these for my foodstuffs though, and I don't have any in the vehicle. I might have some in storage for my old kitchen, but for my project I need to do, I'm going to need scissors, and they didn't have anything in the hobby area or anything. So I didn't want to go to Walmart and get it, and I need a specific kind of ingredient for my nasal spray, so I got some nasal spray. You guys always hear me on here, I got really bad allergies. And then pack of hamburger buns for the hamburger. So the idea is today I'll have hamburger and chips for dinner. That's the goal anyway. All right, let's see, it's almost 7 o'clock. Let's go stop somewhere so I can work on my project. I'm posted up at the Planet Fitness parking lot because that's my next spot to go into once I get all this done. All right, let me see what I can do. All right, I'll show you what I did. I've had foam board on this side forever, and it looks like no light gets through. I've got that ring light on the inside, and this is my project I just worked on. You see that dot right there? I'll need to cover it up, but I'm also going to kind of consider it a peephole. But what I did is I cut that sunshade and I mounted it right there. Now, if you look, what I did, and it's not sticking too well, but at work we had this $4 and some change, under $5 magnetic tape. So I ran it across the edges and it just fits up there. But the adhesive doesn't want to stick. So I'm gonna have to probably get something stronger, either a stronger double-sided tape, like some Gorilla Tape, or some kind of glue or epoxy. But that will block out the sunlight, because this is what my foam board looks like right now. It's just beat. That's with that big bright light being on. So I'm pretty happy with how this project turned out. This was a $5 sunshade. Any sunshade made like this was over $12 at Walmart. So, and there's magnets on the edges here, so I can just push them in. It puts a lot of weight on it though. So the sunshade itself is actually pretty light, but the magnets actually give it a lot of weight. Now I did cut this in such a way, I'll show you that too. The reason I had the idea for a sunshade is so I could do this. I can fold it right back up and be able to stow it. If you follow van life at all, you know those expensive sunshades, which I still hope to eventually get. They're like over $100. And the cool thing about it over foam board or something like that is you can fold them back up. So my idea when I was at work yesterday was just like, well, what if I just use the sunshade? So this worked. I might get some for the back window. I'm gonna have to measure that one to make sure this one's big enough. But because if you look, not so much on this side, but there is a little bit of light coming through right there, like right there, you see. Now that's not going to be a problem for what I have planned tonight, because I'll be backing into a spot where you can't see my back windows. But you know, the idea is to slowly get this thing as stealth as possible when I'm parked. Since I'm not going to be using the front sunshade, because that would just call too much attention to myself, I got to do something about the light right there, because I need to get another curtain. This one wasn't long enough when I ordered it. And then the light right there, which I have an idea. And then I got to be aware that where my slide door is, there's light coming through. To give you an idea how much light that sunshade I just built for $5, well, $9 if you count the entire roll of magnetic tape, but I still got quite a bit left. So this is, I'm going to say this is a $6 project. Check this out. With the light on, plain as day, you can see Happy walking around in there. So when you're far back, you can see just about everything. So I'm happy with this sunshade. Like I said, I got to figure out if the magnetic tape's going to work the way I want. I can't cover it out. You know, I would be like, oh, I'll just put some pieces of black duct tape on. Unfortunately, this is really weak magnet. It works good the way it is, but I think if I cover it with anything thick, like duct tape or anything, I think it won't stick. So we'll see. But I'm happy. I got a foldable, black on one side, shiny on the other side sunshade. Works really good with the fact, because I have this blind, what do you call it? Works really good because I have that vinyl sunblocker material already. So this is just stopping people from seeing in. From the outside, you'll see the white dotted stuff. All right, it's 7:30, so I'm going to get ready to prep my stuff and go over to Planet Fitness over there. Catch up with everybody after that. All done with the gym, showered up. Feels good to have some clean clothes on. Let's go to Circle K. All right, everyone, before I go to my boondock site, I'm gonna toss in a couple of these pre-cooked ballpark flame grilled beef patties and see if the 12-volt Lunchbox will cook it. I mean, the patty doesn't look that bad. All right, I'm gonna give it about an hour and then we'll check back in on it. All right, everyone. Got my Circle K beverage. Not as good as I thought it was going to be. I thought they just changed out the pumps. I think they're not cleaning the nozzles out as good as they should. That makes a difference. Trust me. But they had a deal. Well, they have this deal. I don't know if it's just reward codes members, but they always show it on my app. $3, because it's going to be an hour before my hamburgers are even close to done. For a drink, bag of chips, and a hot dog. So I got a hot dog. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Down here in the South, we have these things called slaw dogs or even junkyard dogs where they put even more stuff like jalapenos and stuff on. And one of the big things is you put coleslaw on your hot dog or chili dog. It's chili dogs with coleslaw is great. So that's what I did. So all beef hot dog, coleslaw, relish, sauerkraut, ketchup, mustard. Sorry to you guys in Chicago who don't like ketchup. It's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be an hour before these hamburgers are done, and I'm hungry, so this is what I'm gonna eat, and that'll put us at around 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is, all right, the reason I'm doing all this stuff with the van is I'm not commuting to a Bass Pro or someplace, like I don't want to be at my own Walmart, right? And I work tomorrow night, so I didn't feel like commuting anywhere. So we're gonna try to post up at that Home Depot. I'm gonna back into a spot that kind of blocks my air conditioner, so we just look like a Chevy Express van. I'm not going to put my banner, my silver sunshade on my windshield up. I've got this black sheet covering up the passenger seat side of stuff, so it just looks dark in here, so you only see the driver's side. And I don't plan on turning the backlights on that much anyway. So, and if I do, I'm going to use the ones that are over my bed. Those little touch lights don't put out a lot of light. So I think we'll be okay if they don't have security. I don't know if they have security at patrols. But they close at 10 and they open at 6 in the morning. So I'm going to try to be over there a little after 10. I'm going to pull in that other parking lot and kind of keep an eye on it. And when everyone seems like they're gone, I'm going to back up into a spot, get everything set up. I'm not going to strip out of my clothes like I tend to do until, you know, maybe after midnight. And then hopefully around midnight, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to try to be up before 6, pull into the regular parking lot area, and then I got some stuff to go do over at storage anyway. So I got to pick that shirt up that I bought for my brother's wife that he wanted me to pick up. So when I see him on Sunday, he's going to give me the new title to my van that came in, a P.O. box, and I'm going to give him the shirt, and we're probably going to eat at Buc-ee's. So that's the plan for that day. Anyway, going to eat this, catch up with you tonight. No. They only had a couple buns left, those prepackaged buns. It tastes fine, but it's getting pretty hard. Not rock hard, but it's getting a little stale. Hot dog, all beef hot dog. I love Circle K all beef hot dogs, and I love Truck Stop all beef hot dogs. I can't do the other kind. This is perfectly done. I don't know if we're gonna get a lot of, but there it is. All right, it's about 10:15. I'm getting ready to pull out of this 24-hour gym that I'm not a member of. If I had the money, though, I probably would get a membership here, too, because it gives me another spot when I'm close to where I work to be able to boondock without any problems. Plus, it's 24 hours. I can work out. I would rather work out like 2 in the morning, to be honest with you, so I wouldn't mind it, but it's probably not as cheap as Planet Fitness, and it's the only location. That doesn't help me. All right. And I already fed the cats, so they've already had their wet cat food for the night. I just got done doing that. Yeah, there's the 24-hour gym. This used to be a Rose's right here. It went out of business about month or so ago. Another one I'm kind of sad about. Looks like they're remodeling into something else already. But it's another one I'm kind of sad about because it's kind of like Big Lots in a way nowadays. And back in the old days, it was like a Walmart or Kmart back in the heyday of the 80s. Rose's was a big old discount store. But it was a good place to get inexpensive stuff like bedding and things like that. I don't know if they're all gone, because there was one at a spot that's probably about 30 minutes away from me that we're going to go visit sometime once we make sure we have our money handled. But yeah, you know, running out of things that are, you know, in line with Ross and stuff like that. Oof. That didn't sound good, and my concern is that was my, I think something fell in the back. My concern is it was my heated lunchbox. So we'll have to pull off and check on that in a second. Yeah, I'd already flipped the burgers over. They look like they were pretty good, but there's a lot of oil coming off of them. So if my heated lunchbox just fell over, I might have a bunch of oil everywhere. That's why you should always secure your stuff, which I'm notorious for not doing. It's 10:17. I don't know how soon after they close all the employees leave a Home Depot. I feel like it wasn't that busy today, so maybe they were all ready to go fairly quick. Chinese buffets don't have anybody in front of it. I think everything else closes at 9, so maybe this tattoo shop up here doesn't. I think this gym up here is 24 hours too, though. Yeah, I think this Armored Gym's also 24 hours. Yeah, so there's a gym off to my left that's 24 hours. So it wouldn't be unheard of. There's a few cars parked. I think it's by the Mexican restaurant. Right now there's a flatbed truck parked over there. I don't know if he's loading or unloading. I'm not sure. Just post up for a second to figure it out. I'll get back with you. Yeah, it looks like that semi's with the flatbed is parking for the night. Unfortunately, he's parking right in the spot I had wanted. There's still employees over there, like employee cars. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till those cars clear out. So I'm gonna park here for right now. I'm gonna go in the back and check on that heated lunchbox though. That's what it was. My heated lunchbox fell. It's upside down. Clearly, there's some grease leaking. Could have been a lot worse, and it's been about an hour, so let's go ahead and check on it. Oh yeah, look at all that steam coming off of there. It's definitely cooked. That looks good to me. All right, built the burger. Ketchup and mustard. Those are the chips from the gas station that I got with my $3 order. I'm not going to open that big bag of chips yet. Let's see. That's not bad. That'll work. And also keep in mind, it's seen better days, but when I'm in the back, I'll have this curtain up here, and I'll mostly just be on my phone when I'm parked. So the light will be off. So the only light coming through is that little bit above my door, of my divider door. So I think, just because that little bit of light will be coming through there, as you can see. This light will be off when I'm pulled in over there, and I'll just be using my little puck light at the most, and I'll use the one that's behind this side of the curtain. Between that and my phone, I don't think anyone will even notice me. Could be wrong, could get the knock. Don't want the knock. Like I say, I work tomorrow night over here, so I just didn't want to go and waste gas, especially since I spent money today. And then after tomorrow, I have 3 days off straight, so that's when I'll go to, you know, probably on the Bucky side or whatever. Tell you, one of the reasons I want to build that countertop in here instead of having this table like this, not just because it makes it a little bit deeper, but because I also want to put in a 12-volt pump so I can have a sink. So I can clean my 12-volt lunchbox easier. I can get access to water easier. It'll have a drain, right? So it'll go into a bottle, but I'll be able to dispose of the dirty water easier instead of having to. Right now what I'm doing is, you know, like say if I'm brushing my teeth, then I got to spit into a bottle or something like that. Whereas if I had a small sink in here, water pump, a little bit of water, brush my teeth, spit in the sink, goes down into a gray water tank or a gray water bottle, really, and then I clean the sink up, and I think it would be better for the quality of life in the van. Easier to give cats water if I needed to as well. I would liken this to, you know, big ass burgers that you get out of the gas stations that you microwave yourself. That's what this tastes like. And honestly, we used to have a sandwich machine at this loading dock I used to work at when I was in my 20s. I loved them. I'm just basic. All right, well, let me go see if the employees have left yet. All right, so here's the thing. I just looked it up. I should have thought about that. Those vehicles are going to stay there because Home Depot does have overnight workers that stock shelves and unload trucks. So I am going to go ahead and park. I'll show you where I'm going to park. I am going to park one space away from this truck here. And we're gonna hope for the best. Let's see. All right, everyone, I am in the back of the van. I'm gonna finish my meal, and then I'm gonna sit and chill. I'll probably watch something, but I hope to fall asleep pretty early on since I want to get up and out of here early in the morning. Wish me luck. This is where I really wish I had external cameras. Something I want to do, but there's so much like loud music that keeps happening around me that I can tell it's pretty close. I don't know if they're going to be exhibitionists or if it's just employees. Can you guys hear that? I knew there's like homeless people and stuff that were here. I didn't know there would be a late night weekday party going on in the parking lot. I have no idea what's going on because I'm not going to peek my head out because I'm stealth, but wild. It's been about an hour. Sounds like multiple cars out there in the lot. I think it's the lot outside of Home Depot. I guess when this place shuts down, this must be the hangout. It sounds like it's the exhibitionist racers chilling. I mean, it doesn't bother me as long as they don't come and mess with the van. I think being on Home Depot lot, I think I'll be okay, but it sounds like just some people having fun. I didn't know this happened at night here. I come over here all the time, but I'm usually gone by 9 o'clock. Apparently once 10:30 rolls around, this place becomes the nightlife